long as they are playing by the rules that society has already made.
Well, if you just look at it in terms of a utilitarian perspective, on the one hand, you have just Boy Scouts, and they are the only ones who can participate in this. And then, on the other hand, you're now including both genders, and they can now both benefit from it. And there was really never anything to be gained from excluding females in the first place. And if you look at a deontological perspective, well, it's quite simply not fair to not include girls, because many parents, the girls themselves, as he said, they want to be able to join, and you are, up until then, denying them the right, because male or female, it makes no difference. And so they should have just as much right. And if you knew that this existed, but you didn't know if you were male or female, you wouldn't think that was fair at all, because there's 50-50 odds that you're just completely excluded, regardless of anything you do.
Right, so to back this up, the utilitarian argument is greatest benefit to the greatest number, or least harms to least numbers. So like we've argued, opening up the Boy Scouts to both girls and boys gives us a lot of benefits. There's the benefit that parents have in that they don't have to drive their children to two different places anymore. And the benefits the children have by having potential siblings involved in the program with them. My partner also mentioned there's the benefit to children that are not gender determinate yet. They now have an opportunity to interact equally with both sexes, and there is no need for them to be binary in their choices at such a young age. And then also like harms, reduction of harms. So, you know, we've got the opportunity here for children to be working together and to be both providing the gifts that both men, or both boys and girls can bring, both their gifts, and then to mitigate any harms that they would feel, because there's a potential, if you have to choose between Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, that there could be an otherness situation happening where they would be inclusive of boys and you know, have a like us versus them mentality of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. So we're reducing that harm by incorporating both sexes into it. My partner also mentioned the deontological rights approach. So we have Aristotle's quote, and I might be taking it a little out of context, but I think he had the argument of equals should be treated equally and unequals treated unequally. And when it comes to sexes, we have generally determined that there is no differences in sex. They are equal. So there is no justification for treating them unequally and not allowing them into the Boy Scouts. So we believe that from a rights approach, this is they have the right to be treated as if sex doesn't matter, and including them in the Boy Scouts is benefiting them. Yeah.
And as far as virtues go, the Boy Scouts, one of their main missions is to encourage and cultivate virtues in their scouts. Well, if you then also allow in girls, you can cultivate those same virtues in them, and we just have a more virtuous children growing up to be adults, making a better society for everyone.
We think also that a lot of the opportunities that Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are given, like for example, Boy Scouts, you know, they're out learning how to camp and be self-sufficient. We think that, you know, learning from the benefits, if there were any inherent biases in the way that these children were raised, whereby boys were taught more outdoorsy skills and girls were more indoorsy, this opportunity to have them both have access to Boy Scouts gives them equal opportunity to learn from their peers some of these these activities that from either deliberate or unconscious gender biases they might not have had as much exposure to. So now they get to play with the boys outside and learn all of the camping, you know, and then the benefit too also of the girls getting to bring, you know, the skills, any potential skills that they've been taught, whether by intentional or unintentional gender bias, they are also now, this is a more collaborative environment where we're no longer viewing it as like a boys thing and a girls thing, and the boys do what the boys do and the girls do what the girls do. We are now saying, hey, let's put everybody together, everybody brings their skills, everybody learns all the scouting techniques, we all learn how to survive in the wilderness, we all learn how to cook, we all learn how to participate in team activities. We think this benefits all people, all children.
You might argue that the Boy Scouts should only be boys because the Girl Scouts exist. But that's really irrelevant because they're different organizations run by different people. They were not made with the intention of being two paths, one of which you are forced to take. The Girl Scouts were simply created because of a void left by the Boy Scouts. And by including girls, the Boy Scouts are fixing this void that really should never have been there in the first place.
Yeah, the idea of corrective justice applies here as well. Like, just by labeling this Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, we are signaling that there is a difference between boys and girls. And so it's corrective of us to be inclusive on both sides. We recognize that the Girl Scouts felt that their trademark was being infringed upon, and that they're looking and believe that providing a safe space just for girls to participate only in girls' events was part of the reason why they brought this lawsuit. But again, we feel that that it's more important to have this corrective justice, to start viewing, to push our society and to push our children into understanding that gender is not a reason for inclusivity or exclusivity, and that we believe this inclusion corrects any potential biases that they might have had. Also, the idea that you have a right to equal opportunity. So we want to make sure that women, girls from a young age don't feel like they don't have a right to participate in any aspect of society where they may have been told before that they weren't allowed that right. We think it's important in particular to encourage women to participate in activities that that were previously perhaps seen as male-dominated. This is a way of showing our priority in going forward in allowing women into spaces that, and girls into spaces that they might not have been previously allowed, and making sure that any spaces that they're not welcome in, that there is a justifiable reason for that. Again, back to Aristotle's quote of treating equals equally.
And these are spaces that they might actually be better attuned to. Every person is different, and not the males aren't necessarily the best at these things that the Boy Scouts teach. There can very easily be girls who are much better at it, who really have a better place in the Scouts.
And finally, one last little thing, the idea of justice is fairness. That what we're trying to do in justice is create a social system that will always support the least well-off. So creating a program that allows boys and girls into it allows people that are less well-off easier access to all their children.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Team Consortium. Team Debatriarchy, you have 1 minute to consult, and then you will have 5 minutes to comment.